All right, fellas, if you are a kook like I am, you probably have no freaking clue what you're doing when you're purchasing your first pair of mountain bike tires. When I decided to look for tires, I really had no clue. I knew that Maxxis was a good tire brand, and I had watched some videos out there, but I didn't know at all where to start. I didn't know what the acronyms meant. I didn't know what the names of tires meant. I didn't know what tread pattern was. So what I'm going to do is break down a kook's guide or an intro beginner's guide to how the heck to choose mountain bike tires and how to know basically what you're doing so that you can have a framework, and then you can go into the different brands and have an idea of what you're actually looking for based on what you're riding. Okay, so this is broken down into three main categories, which is going to be first, the tread pattern, second, the casing or the hardness of the sidewall, and then third, the grippiness or the softness of the rubber. So how hard or how soft is the rubber and the actual tackiness of the tire? Let's dive into it. If you don't mind, like and subscribe, it would help me out, and then comment down below what tire combo you have on your mountain bike right now. First, let's look at tread patterns here. This is the actual part of the tire that is biting into the ground, or the teeth of your bike, more or less. Tread pattern is like, cleats or sole of your shoe. You can think of it as that type, but it's what rolls on the ground and actually provides contact with the ground for you. There are different types of knobs. You can obviously see the knobs as you look at different sets of tires. The center knobs are the lugs that are just in the middle or the center, obviously. Short and crowded, if the knobs are close together and they're short, these will roll fast. They won't squirm on the ground. Great for hard pack trails and great for high speed rolling quickly. Tall and spaced out, so large, really knobby and spaced out knobs. These are more like shovels. Will dig into loose dirt and mud, but won't get packed if there is more or less like loose mud. So if the knobs are spaced out, it'll do better at shedding mud and shedding dirt as you go. There are also ramped knobs. If you look closely, some of these center knobs are angled, so it's not just square or flat. This acts as a ramp so that the sharper edge is on the back side and your tires can roll in one direction much easier. So then when you brake, you still do have more sharp edges to dig in. What's actually rolling on the center knob is going to be ramped up so that it rolls easier. Now the side knobs provide your cornering support. You'll see these lugs on both edges. Bigger, beefier side knobs on the edge provide more traction when you lean your bike over. You think of it, you kind of turn on a mountain bike like a motorcycle. You don't just turn the handlebars, you lean the whole bike. If these knobs are smaller, you're going to have obviously less traction when cornering. And this would be more impactful on loose dirt or loose dirt or muddy areas where your knobs can actually like dig into the earth. Transition knobs, now these will be in between the center and the cornering knobs. These sometimes actually have a gap in between, which is like a channel. And you may notice that if this channel is larger, you may feel a space between where you're leaning the bike where you don't feel like you have traction, and then it catches on the side knobs. So if you don't like that feeling, you're going to want to look for a tire with some transition knobs on the side and not a big channel or gap. Downside to that is that might pack dirt in more quickly than a tire that's more spaced out. The next aspect we're going to look at is the casing and the sidewall thickness. Now this is kind of like the armor or how strong your tire is. Casing in the fabric is like the skeleton of the tire, determines how much the tire can take, how much abuse it can take, and how it feels under your weight. So you may notice how it feels when it's a lighter tire or a thicker tire. TPI is how they measure this, threads per inch. High TPI would be 20. Thinner treads, tires lighter, more supple, meaning it conforms to the ground better. However, it's, obviously it's lighter, it's easier to puncture, might squirm onto you when you're making, strong, like pushing turns into it or taking jumps You won't want a lighter tire like this. Now, low TPI 60, thicker threads, tires heavier, stiffer, but it's tougher, going to hold up to casing jumps, going to hold up to just chunkier trail, and it's going to protect your rim as well if it's a heavier casing. Now, you could also run a lower PSI or lower amount of air within that type of tire and get away with that because of the protection. Now, sidewall stiffness is the damping of the tire, how much it absorbs the actual abuse of the trail. Lighter sidewall stiffness is going to be great for general trail riding. Lighter feels poppier because it's not as heavy. Now, more of a downhill casing or a plus casing or gravity casing, as it may be referred to by different brands, they have extra layers of casing or thickness. Now, these are going to feel dampened and deadened in a good way. They don't bounce off rocks and chunk on the trail. They kind of soak things up. If you're a heavier rider, you ride on really rocky terrain, you ride very fast on chunky terrain, or if you ride on steep trails with long descents, then you're probably going to want a stiffer sidewall. Or if you ride a lot of high-speed berms or things where you're really pushing into the corners, you don't want your tire to fold, you may need a thicker sidewall. All right, next let's look into the actual tackiness or the softness, hardness of the tire rubber itself. Now, the rubber hardness is measured with a durometer. So it's a number usually followed by an A. You can find this on things like skateboard and longboard wheels much easier. The actual durometer rating of mountain bike tires is not often listed, and they're usually a blend of different tire or different rubber hardness scores in different parts of the tire. So really hard rubber is more like a pencil eraser feeling, not very squishy. Now, lasts a long time, rolls fast, but not good traction on, say, wet roots or wet rocks. A really soft rubber, hard rubber would be around a 70A in the durometer rating, and soft maybe like a 42A, which I believe is what the Maxxis Max Grip is. Now, this feels squishy like a gummy bear, will deform around rocks and roots, and basically if it spreads out around something, it's able to grip on it. Now, the downside to this, which I've noticed specifically with Max Grip, is this wears out a lot faster. It won't last when the knobs specifically are made from this soft of a compound. They're going to wear out a lot faster, and you just have to buy more tires. Now, dual or triple compounds can use different types of rubbers. So maybe hard rubber in the center and a soft rubber on the outside knobs for cornering grip, or obviously hard sidewalls with tacky soft lugs all over can provide better grip, while also providing a lot of strength and durability in the casing. If you stuck around this long, there's one tip which I didn't know starting out, is that there are tires made specifically for front and rear, and you don't have to have the same tire. You don't even have to have the same brand of tire in front and back. I would say, though, you want to look at kind of where you're riding. If you're riding steep, burly type descents, you probably do want a more like enduro focused set of tires, which off the top of my head, like Maxxis, Assegai, DHF, DHR. In Continental, it'd be the Cryptotol, Argotol. Schwalbe has the Magic Mary, Big Betty, the Shreddas, and then Schwalbe has radial tires, which is a whole other thing to get into. But you'd want something like that. And then if you're riding XC trails, you're going to want a lighter set of tires with smaller lugs that's faster rolling. My one recommendation is either ask people who ride locally, go to the bike shop, ask them what they ride, or your local bike shop, or look on Reddit or local Facebook groups. Make sure you're finding something local to where you are and similar types of trails that you're riding, and get people's recommendations, and then kind of go from there. But you do need to understand tread patterns, tire hardness, what type of casing, and figure out when you're looking at each brand, how they refer to each of those things, and then you'll have a frame of reference to kind of figure out what you want to do. What I try to do with most of my bikes, because I am riding more enduro style trails, is to ride the heaviest set of tires that I can. So the best grip, the best casing, or best grip, heaviest casing, and then longest lasting. But what I tend to do is focus mainly on the grip on the front tire, and then my rear tire is kind of whatever I can find, something that's faster rolling with decent grip, but I'm not worried about it being super soft rubber. I want that one to last long and roll fast, but also have enough casing so that if I do come up short on a jump, I'm not blowing up my rear tire immediately all the time, which still happens sometimes. But guys, hopefully this helped you. Again, comment down below with your tire setup, and I will catch you guys on the trails. Cheers.